And you just saw a good return on the kickoff to set the game going. This is game 5/6, however you want to look at it, because of 2 games going on. Lower Field is hosting the Anderson Cavaliers and Cabarrus Stallions, and we are here at the main field for the Arendell Parrott Academy from Kingston, North Carolina. They're facing off against the Evangel Christian School Lightning from Alabaster, Alabama. Welcome to everyone watching around the world. I'm Spencer Thompson alongside Blake Biggs, proud to be with you in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Hammond Stadium at Legions Field, Rocky Top Sports World. And this is a carry up the middle down at about the 32-yard line. That was carried by Jalen Solomon, the senior for Arendell. And I believe he had the return back on the kickoff, if I'm not mistaken. But Blake,
yes,
Blake, this is one of those matchups that on paper, last year's record for Arendell, 5-5. For 2 years ago, 11-1 on their regular season record.
Yeah.
So one of those that could be deceiving, as this is a fake pitch in the backfield and down to about the 24-yard line, a carry for Mason Mooring going up the middle. But on paper, you would think, well, they've lost 2 senior classes. What's the appeal of them being in a main game? But there's a reason why they were chosen to face off against the 5-time defending national champions now in the Evangel Lightning.
Right, yeah, I believe they've only lost about 9 seniors. Don't check me on that. That is just a number I threw out there, just a rough estimate. And last year, they played 4 out of the 5 of their losses were against top teams in the conferences, as that's a touchdown right there.
Ben Barrett catches it in the corner of the end zone. There's another situation that it's very rare that the Evangel Lightning defense is scored on and has any issues where they can't get a stop on the first drive. And just like that, Arendell has made things interesting.
Yeah, no, that was a great play right there. Arendell, they set up the ground and pound, and then little play action, hit the post towards the left field goal, or not left field goal, the left pylon, back right. PAT ensuing, and it's good. That is number 7, Braden Shaver for the PAT. It's good. And Arendell Parrott leads Evangel 7-0 in the opening seconds of the first quarter.
So already Arendell getting the field goal there, or extra point. It's now 7-0 with 10:38 left to go in the first quarter. We'll see how Evangel responds. You just saw a little bit of a fake kick there from the Arendell special teams unit. And that's Braden Shaver, who's set to boot it away. And again, 10:38 left in the first quarter. And that was muffed, but the security there from Staniscavage, almost disastrous. But fortunately, the Evangel offense is about to get on the field.
Yeah, no, that was a different formation that you did. I don't know if you noticed, they did a V formation. They were gonna, fake the onside, the little pooch kick, and then backed off, and then just did a regular over the top onside kick. That's an interesting play right there. And let's see what Evangel does with this field positioning. Right around the 34 or 33-yard mark.
First and 10 on the 33. Swords will keep it himself. He's got some space. Got to about the 40-yard line. Kemp Swords, one of those players who rarely plays defense, rarely catches the ball, but Last year, 2,100 passing yards, almost 1,100 rushing yards, 33 passing touchdowns with 1 interception and 20 rushing touchdowns. The senior has really stepped into that starting quarterback role and has done really well.
Spence, the stats are nice, but can we talk about that last name, man? Swords, dude. That's so cool, man.
There's been a lot of cool last names over the years. As this is carried up the middle by Nick Cloud, the senior, had 2 carries for 20 yards last year, so managing to get some more action on his end of the offensive scheme, and it brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, speaking of Cloud, had a gap up the middle, but the Parrott defense just rained on his parade right there. Good defense right there to, really close that gap, and you got a 3rd and short. Should be interesting to see what formation Evangel comes out in.
Third and short. He had a little bit of pressure, a head start from the defense, and the right side. That's a 4th and out forced as Will Welch tried to go to the right side. Not something you see often from Evangel, especially considering the last loss they had was against Ezekiel Academy 2020, if that math is right.
I believe 2021 because Grace.
That's right, 2021.
Right.
Yep, Grace Christian.
No, but right there,
Grace Baptist.
I don't know if you called it, but it seems like the quarterback and his offensive line they had a miscommunication because he snapped it and the O-line was still in place. So they just froze up right there. Should be an interesting 4th down.
And they'll go for it on 4th and short. Kemp Swords going up the middle. He's got the 1st down. Very risky move early on, but if there's one thing we know about the offensive coordinator for the Evangel Lightning and Hagen Joyner, it's that he's a big risk taker.
Right, yeah, he's a big risk taker too, which is why I think Arendell, they know that. They've had all summer to watch their film. They know Evangel's going to take those shots. They're going to try to eliminate those shots and make them earn it on these small, short plays like those runs right there, short over-the-middle passes too.
And off in the direct snap in the backfield to Swords and forced to maybe a yard gain for a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, really a lot of ground and pound, just trying to make them earn it right here. Good job by the Parrott defense.
Evangel Lightning 14-0 last year, champions of the Alabama Christian Sports Conference, undefeated in conference play, won their semifinal against East Central. Actually, East Central got their blowout win earlier on Lower Field, which you were calling that game. And the championship game went against the Lighthouse Homeschool Warriors 41-14. Kemp Swords, deep toss on the right side, just overthrew his man, and Cade Joyner looked like he had a good amount of space, could have made it to the end zone, just a step or 2 behind.
Right, yeah, and I told you that's one of those shot plays that, Parrott is going to make them earn. That play wasn't, a given because Parrott had 2 linebackers in Swords' face as he's throwing that ball. So he, if Swords was going to complete that pass, he was going to have to really, really perfect it. And Parrott, good job of stepping in and forcing the incompletion.
Third down and 9. This is now the 3rd time Swords has been alone in the backfield and a flag down for a false start. Or they'll call it an encroachment, actually, so a benefit for Evangel as they move it up to the 49.
Yeah, Spence, that's one of those plays that could go either way. They did catch him off, though. It looked close to me, but –
motion for the 3rd down and 4. Swords is going to keep it. Got past the man. Kemp Swords to the left side. 1 man to beat. Getting past the defender. Kemp Swords to the house. Touchdown.
What an athletic play right there by Swords. He cut inside and then juked out his defender. Great run by Swords. And Evangel is now on the board.
We mentioned Swords had 20 rushing touchdowns on the season last year. and is continuing that trend with challenging Arendell Parrott. The Patriots and the Lightning colliding here, and Evangel does not have someone who can kick PATs. And a fake there, rush up the middle. Didn't even know that Nick Cloud was sneaking up there, and the Lightning have the lead.
Misconception.
Leaves it to 6:23 left to go in this first quarter, and the national champions immediately respond in the next drive. Perfectly timing for Sweet Home Alabama to be playing on this. .623 left to go in the first quarter. The Patriots set to receive the kickoff from the Lightning. Immediate response from offense and a little bit of trickery trying to go on the onside kick, and they throw a flag. Yes, someone was offside or an illegal procedure on the kicking team. They were offsides. We got no score on game heading down on the southern field between the Anderson Cavaliers and Cabarrus Stallions. They're at 8:36 left to go in that first quarter. Move it back 5 yards and redo the kick. This will go to about the 30-yard line with the bounce and immediately met for the tackle. How about Will Welch anticipating and not letting Cooper Coleman go anywhere on the return?
Spence, did you expect anything less of Tim Smith's special teams right there? That's good coverage right there. Good form tackle. Great kick, too. He put it in a perfect spot.
New set of downs for the Patriots. They do a pitch forward, and Ben Barrett to the outside. The fumbled ball picked up by the Lightning. It's fumbled again, or they rule it down by contact because of high school football rules. Nick Cloud on the recovery, and the Lightning get a recovery on the fumble.
And there is a flag. It looks like there is a flag on the play. That's a hold.
So what?
And it will be Lightning ball.
Yeah, so hold called on the return, so it was after the fumble. You can hear that Evangel fan base. They travel well from Alabaster. First and goal on the 10-yard line for Evangel. And you can also see from the close sideline, the frustration from Ben Barrett on that play. To the left side, here's Will Welch trying to find his way in. Will Welch about 2 yards short of the goal line.
Yeah, good outside run right there by Evangel. Really trying to stretch out. I think they're right now what they're trying to do, stretch out this Evangel defense, or not Evangel, excuse me, this Parrott defense to the sides, towards the sidelines, and then either A, run it up the gut, or B, find a pass straight up the middle. And me and James, we were talking about this the last game. We forgot to consider Arendell Parrott. They had the longest drive out of any team here to Gatlinburg at 6 hours and 14 minutes.
It's a bit of a distance. That goes up the middle for the touchdown. Nick Cloud, the senior.
And again, nothing wrong with passing to the side and then running it up the gut. Results in a touchdown.
Nick Cloud had 2 rushes for 20 yards last year. He's already doing better, and that was last year as a junior. He started getting in the rotation, now has a touchdown in 24. Two-point conversion attempt to make this a 9-point game. Low snap, swords, toss, incomplete. Clean coverage from Cole Watson, the sophomore, keeps it a 7-point game, which is actually very important since the Patriots have someone who could kick PATs.
Yeah, and PATs they can kick. They can kick it very well, very consistent. Watch the kicker a little bit during pregame. You know, he's got a leg and a foot on him for sure.
14-7, 5:18 left to go in the first quarter. $5:18 left to go in the first quarter. Make that 5:17 as another fake there. They get the right procedure, and the ball is immediately picked up, caught, I should say, by Oliver LeQuire, senior. How about another fun name to call? Yeah. Oliver LeQuire.
Oliver LeQuire. I'm trying to think of, here's another one. Christopher Staniscavage.
Yep.
That's a fun one.
Oh, yeah. He's a junior. Last year he had one catch for 15 yards that resulted in a touchdown. He had 3 carries for 4 yards, 10 tackles. So not as active last year, but getting in the rotation.
Where do they get these names?
I'll get you a better one after this play from time of covering high school 8-man football. Fake pitch. Here's one on the right side. Getting past the defense. Tried to tiptoe the sideline. That was Jalen Solomon who got brought out of bounds. And the Patriots were a little upset at that, thinking it was a late tackle or late grab, but no call from the officials. They say play on.
Yeah, Solomon, really wanted that one right there, but you just got to keep your head up and just move on. You just had one of the biggest runs of the game for your team. You cannot let a flag that wasn't thrown ruin momentum for you. Just put your head down and run the ball.
Got him a 1st and 10 on about the 33, 34-yard line. There's another fake and sweep on the backside. Nowhere for Mason Mooring to go there.
Yeah, and that's just great defense by Evangel. They're starting to hone in on this run, so we'll see, if Arendell will try and spread it out a little bit, see if they, continue to run it in the same formation. Let's see if they go into a different formation, try to spread it out a little more, pass it maybe. We'll see.
Bringing up a 2nd and 12. Another handoff. Jalen Solomon yet again up the middle. And he'll get a gain of a handful of yards to make it a 3rd down and 6.
And see, I like that pistol formation a lot better than the that little T form that they do. In a situation like a 2nd and long or a 3rd and short, it spreads out the defense for you. So you have a lot more options. They're not going to think, hey, I'm running middle when you want to run middle anyway, or hey, I'm running middle, hitting your quarterback in the nose before he can get the ball off for a long streak.
About 3rd and 6. Same situation with the run up the middle left side. Jalen Solomon stopped short of the 1st down by several yards.
And we'll see if Arendell wants to opt for the field goal or if they want to go for it. It looks like they're wanting to go for it. Fourth and about 4 or 5 yards to go. Watch for the play action fake to the tight end right here, number 42, I believe. Tanner Outlaw.
4th and 4, they go with the option, toss over, and incomplete pass intended for Mason Mooring, and that's a turnover on downs for the Lightning.
Yeah, and Arendell wanted the call right there. They thought they had pass interference, but you cannot bank on calls to convert 4th down for you. Or excuse me, penalty calls, not play calls, but penalty calls. Let me clarify that.
You also can't bank on play calls to be successful either. So
no,
we knew what you meant, but you're right on both ends.
Yeah.
2:51 remaining in this first quarter. Evangel Lightning managed to get a fumble recovery and then punch it in for a touchdown. Kemp Swords across the top and another step ahead on the throw intended for Cade Joyner. That's the 2nd time that's happened to Cade Joyner.
And, yeah, for Swords, this is just, this is his 1st year starting, isn't it?
I believe he was a quarterback last year. He was a starter, so 2nd year.
So 1st game back, after summer, you see a man wide open downfield. I guarantee you that pass he'll have that pass, 15 times over before the season is ended at least. And, that pass in now compared to November, he'll make it in November. It's just nerves right now, 1st game.
2nd and 10. Swords, another one up top. This time the catch is made by Will Welch. He's got the one man to beat. He's got space. Will Welch for the touchdown.
See, and what I tell you, Spence, he just needed to adjust. The first 3 deep passes he had, all incomplete, and that's his 1st touchdown completion through a long catch.
Will Welch had 5 receiving touchdowns last year, caught the ball 47 times for 445 yards. Pretty much every time he was catching the ball, he would get you a 1st down, and this time he gets into the end zone.
Yeah, and for Arendell, what you want to do when you get back on defense, you got to start spreading your defense out a little bit. They're lining up way tight.
Swords will keep it up the middle, untouched. 2-point conversion is good. 22-7, the Evangel Lightning are starting to show again why they have defended their national title 5 years in a row. 2:30 left to go in this first quarter. 22-7 lead for the Evangel Lightning. High kick this time around that bounces at the 26. Finally picked up. How about that tackle? Wesley Holmes, the senior, immediately meeting the kick returner. Not even a chance for him to move.
And again, special teams. Special teams is, in golf terms, golf comparison is like the driver. I don't know if you fully understand.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It's one shot, but it's one of the most important. It can make or break, your entire drive.
If you're going golf comparisons, what's the putter in football?
The putter, goal line. Goal line.
That's not too bad. From the 28-yard line, the Patriots of Arendell try to get something going here. Left side, Mason Mooring will get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, great job right there by the Evangel defense. They notice, hey, they're going to want to start, opening up the run outside. So let's think ahead.
Talked about Arendell, and now they were 5-5 last season. 4 of their seniors graduated, and their starting quarterback also graduated this past year, back in May. So having the challenge of trying to find guys to take the helm when they have about 5-6 seniors this year. Carry up the middle, stopped after about a gain of 4 yards.
Big third down right here for Arendell. They really need to start opening up the pass game here. And I don't know if you can hear it, but they're playing fireball. It feels like a fireball up in this press box. It is a little toasty today. 86 today in Gatlinburg.
I got 84.
84?
Yeah, high is 84, low is 65. It's going to start dropping by a couple degrees over the next few hours. But doesn't matter that much when you're in the sun.
Yeah. I bet it's real hot down there on that turf.
The Evangel Lightning call their first timeout of the first half. And you're right, we were talking about this in the earlier game. They say you add 10 degrees when you're playing on turf. So if you got 84 right now, it's about 94 degrees on that field.
Yeah, man, that can have a whole lot of effects on your body, such as dehydration, cramps, heat, bogging down on you. So it's really important, throughout the season, if you're playing on turf or even if you're playing on grass or just in general around, the South and its heat, that you stay hydrated, drink plenty of Gatorade, plenty of Pedialyte, get plenty of electrolytes in you, plenty of water, stay hydrated, stay safe out there.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier with the amount of cramps that were stopping the earlier game between Freedom and Pack. It was not a fun sight.
Yeah. Well, a lot of that has to do with the change in altitude.
Oh, yeah. Altitude, the heat, so on and so forth. There's a big hole on the right side for Jalen Solomon. He's got the space. Jalen Solomon has got about a 68-yard rushing touchdown.
Yeah, and that's a perfect run right there by Jalen Solomon. Quarterback goes over. Let's see if we can get a replay on that. Hang on.
We don't have replay.
Oh, we don't have replay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Equipment's been having issues. Otherwise, we definitely would.
Well, still, I remember it enough. It was a great run. Hit the gap perfectly. Perfect blocking. Way to tiptoe down that sideline and prance in for the score. Jalen Solomon, potential MVP of this game?
Really early to say something like that. But
really
it's
early.
Possible.
But potential. Him and I'd say Swords.
Extra point attempt coming up here, and it is blocked. And you can't return it. This has continued to come up every year. But that is Braden Shaver, who is making the PAT attempts and did not made 22-13, a 9-point difference here with 43 seconds exactly left to go in this first quarter. And we'll stay here since only got a handful of seconds until the end of the quarter.
You said it was too early to talk about, who's going to be MVP for this game. With James, it's never too early.
Oh, never.
He'll start talking about it before the game even starts. So I'm like, okay,
well, and you know that because
we'll slow down.
And you know that because you just worked 2 games with him.
Yeah.
How early was he talking about the MVPs? Now, granted, very one-sided on the matches that you had, but
right, yeah.
How early was he talking about it?
Around this time. Right around this time.
I guess your camera guy, Theo, can you confirm that? Was he talking pretty early? He's always talking early.
Right and early.
Thanks to all 137 of you who are joining us here on 8-Man Extreme. It's a hot day here in Gatlinburg. We're also in the press box where it's a competitive advantage where the away coaches do not have climate control or a separate AC unit in here. The separate sections, the PA guy next to us has the door closed, and he's got air conditioning, as it's ruled a fair catch by Ben Davis at about the 46-yard line. The other media personnel in the other box to the right of us, the Evangel broadcasters and the Arendell Parrott broadcasters and the scorekeeper, they have their air conditioning over there, and they're enjoying themselves.
Not us, Spence.
For the best
us.
angle, the best angle, we appreciate being in here. Rocky Top Sports World and Parsley Gatlinburg, Pittman High School, great venue that's hosted the All-American games since 2020, and as well as started hosting the Black Bear Brawls last year. And good news is no prediction of rain or storms of any kind like last year with that heavy thunderstorm delay we had to go through. How long? We got out of sight, what was it, 1 in the morning? 2 in the morning?
I wasn't there, but I heard it was a 3-hour delay.
Yeah, one of the 3-hour thunderstorm delays.
Ooh-wee.
Pitch, I got a double pitch. This is over to Will Welch on the left side. Couldn't get past the tackle, but we got several flags being thrown. Tackle made by Thomas Jones.
I saw that play off CFP 25. Some of these coaches out here, some of these high school coaches calling these plays, they ain't slick. I've seen a thing or two.
It's a block in the back called on Evangel, and the penalty declined with the result of the play. So it'll just be a second down with a loss, which is interesting because block in the back usually about 15 yards, but knowing how but I guess already with Coach Matt Beeman and company, they're realizing you would rather have less downs for the Lightning than give them any sort of – because yardage is just – hyperbole for the Lightning.
The longer Evangel's on the field, the more risk there is for a big play. So you take away a down, the less of a risk, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Toss, Kemp Swords with the catches made. Finally takes 2 players to bring down Nick Cloud, and he gets to the 45, so gained a little bit back on that loss. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see what Arendell does right here on defense, how they line up. Expect like a quarter or probably a cover 3 formation right here. Got to guard those sidelines, definitely up the middle. Swords loves that spot up the gut. So we'll see what they do right here after this timeout.
Already a high-scoring affair in the first quarter, 22-13. The Evangel Lightning leading over the Arendell Patriots. Start of the second quarter in the Smoky Mountains, Legion Field at Hammond Stadium. 3rd down and 12, Swords, quick toss, Joyner. Cade Joyner is going to be stopped way short with the fumble. He was initially stopped short of the 1st down, and the fumble is recovered by Luke Stocks, the senior. He had 2 of those last year.
I don't want to speak too soon, but the momentum is starting to swing in Parrott's favor.
Remember during our production meetings last night, we were a bit hesitant because of that 5-5 record of the Patriots last year. Well, I think it's fair to say we were very duped in that regard.
Right, yeah. And said earlier, they played good competition and they return a lot of starters. So they'll come back better than they were last year, for sure.
Run up the middle by Mooring results in a gain of 1. And the Stallions and the Cavaliers are at 0-all with about 11 minutes left to go in the second quarter. So we've got scores. They don't have anything going down at that lower field right now.
Poor James, man. He's watched defense all day. He's ready for some offense. He was telling me he wished he saw that Tri-Cities game.
There's a handoff in the backfield at the 50-yard line and about a loss of a yard in the play to put it right at midfield. About a 3rd down and 8 coming up here for the Patriots. Third down and 8. Lob again. The Jalen Solomon brought down in the backfield immediately. The tackle by Ethan Stallings. 4th down and long.
There's man's oldest enemy right there, the turf monster. Got him right there. Oh, I was excited. He's been excited me every time he gets a ball on a pitch to the outside. Your eyes kind of light up like, oh God, what's he gonna do now? We were robbed right there by the turf. Makes me a little bit upset.
Again, Solomon had 3 rushing I beg your pardon. He had 13 rushing touchdowns last year with 1,140 rushing yards. So you're right. Almost a blocked punt by Eli Black. Got close in there as this bounces all the way out of bounds at the 15.
Yeah, near perfect punt right there. Believe that's Shaver, right? Yeah, he plays kicker and punter. So 6'1", 170. Think you play soccer?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's a funny trend of how you have either rugby players or soccer goalkeepers going to the NFL for the kicking positions. You got similar situations there where you have these guys where if they're not playing those other sports, maybe they should.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, I feel like, being a kicker, you're just a soccer player that sits the bench most of the time.
I was a goalkeeper in high school. It would have been great if I had that opportunity to do kicking or punting. Here's a lob to Cade Joyner on the left side. The sweep results in about a gain of 9 yards for the senior.
The old jet touch pass, what they call it. That is considered a passing play, right? Since it's a forward motion.
I think technically it's more a pitch, but it's a forward pitch.
Yeah.
So,
a forward pitch is a pass by definition.
Yeah, and I think they call it the jet lodge. They call it the jet lodge sweep, probably because
jet lodge sweep. Yeah,
probably.
I see what you did there.
Probably on the Evangel sideline, they're calling it that. Second down and 2. Keeper for Swords. Couldn't get past the defender. A great tackle there by Brody Kachek.
Spence, you're about to kill me for this one, but looks like Swords couldn't cut his way to the outside enough. You didn't seem to hate that one, did you?
I'm sorry, say it again.
I don't know if I want to. I said Swords didn't cut his way to the outside enough to escape the defense.
And no, it was funny. I got to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. My brother is the king of puns. He just texted me something right now. So he would be laughing. We would be rolling on the floor at that one.
Oh, gosh. Well, I hope he's watching.
He is not.
Oh.
He should be. Any other friends or family should be if you invite him in. His Swords going up the middle. Gets wrapped up by William Stimson as he gets brought down for the first down at the 32.
Yeah, Swords cuts through the offensive line right there and cuts right through the heart of the defense. I'm sorry, I had to do it again. I'm sorry. It's such a good name. It's such a good name, Spence.
Oh, that's the one I was going to tell you earlier from the web school. Spoony Sizemore. That was a kid's name. He was a fantastic athlete too.
Was that a nickname, Spoony?
No, that was his actual name.
Oh, that was his actual name, huh?
His actual name, Spoony Sizemore.
Spoony Sizemore.
Yeah, we've had some interesting names over the years for the athletes we've been able to cover through 8-Man Extreme. Now 10 years since it was created in 2014. Swords up the middle. Misses the tackle on the defender. Swords trying to get past the last one. Finally wrapped up, but not after he gets 11 yards on the gain. So the danger is Kemp is both a threat in the air and on the ground.
Yeah, and right there, Arendell just seems to have a hard time. I guess the heat is kind of bogging down on them. They're having a hard time just finishing the play. They're not wrapping up. They're not bringing their man down. If they will just, wrap up and tackle, we'd be staring at a third down right now, most likely.
I could have started the broadcast earlier in the day about this, but how good is it that football's back, man?
Oh, yeah, it's awesome, man. I love it. I've been watching basketball and baseball for the last, few months. I'm getting tired of it, man. I'm getting tired of it. Some new fresh football, a new fresh batch of football in August is just what the doctor ordered.
Swords with the sweep. Cade Joyner on the right side. He's got some space again. Cade Joyner tiptoeing the sideline. One man to beat. Stays in bounds. No, they rule him out at the 27. At the 28 looked like he had stayed in bounds. 1 foot separated him from the end zone. Yeah,
great play call right there. Great play design by Tim Smith. He sends two rolling guards out in the open space, to cover, to block for the running back, and blocks the only two linebackers that were going against him, and, just a numbers game. He just barely stepped out of bounds there. Great run, though.
You know what even amazed me as well? I'm looking at Coach Smith. He's got a hoodie on with his sleeves rolled up.
Are you serious?
Like, you look over here. He's got a hoodie and his sleeves are rolled up.
Are you crazy,
Oh, wait,
Tim?
no. I think it's one of the other coaches, not Tim.
Okay.
But it's one of the others who has a hoodie with the sleeves rolled up, unless I'm wrong. But someone else. Here's Swords looking for the option. Pitch. He's got it over to Welch. Will Welch cutting to the outside, down to about the 22-yard line.
Listen, I know it's East Tennessee, and, elevation's a little bit higher, so it's going to be a little bit cooler compared to, most places.
Theo, I don't mean to break the fourth wall. Can you zoom in on Coach Smith? Because I think that's a hoodie. I think I see a hood. Let's see if we can get that. Hopefully he recognizes who Coach Smith. But one of the guys with the headset on over there. You see that on the camera? That's a hoodie. And I think that's rolled up sleeves. Like, I'm pretty certain that's. Yeah, there's the hood.
Oh, no. Dude, it's 86 degrees in August. What are you doing?
Maybe that's his lucky hoodie. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe he's worn it at every game since they.
Maybe he has low iron. I don't know. What are we to judge? He might be cold.
Oh goodness! Here goes Will Welch. The 25-yard line and gets stopped. Yeah, we are not going to hear the end of this, or more so, James is going to get a call from Coach afterwards. No, you know what? We got to tell him afterwards. We'll have to go see Coach Smith and just be like, "Hey, just so you're aware, he's one of the kindest guys too. So like he wouldn't care that much about it, but."
Spence, what other network zooms in on the coach of the 7 straight national champions and goes, "Why are you wearing a hoodie?" Well, maybe his iron is low. Maybe he has a cold.
Oh, we have too much fun in
Football's back, baby.
Yeah, we have too much fun up here, that's for sure. 2 receivers in motion. Swords has now got Eli Black to his left. Swords trying to find the option. What trickery! Ethan Stallings going in for the touchdown. And we could hear on the ambient noise someone saying, "Oh man," from the Patriots sideline. And it makes sense why.
It doesn't matter if he has a hoodie on or not if he's calling plays like that. I think he could wear whatever he wants. He could wear a sombrero, he could wear a poncho, he could wear a Santa Claus suit for all I care. If he's calling plays like that, I mean, come on now.
You know, that's actually a clever idea for the All-American games since they're in December. Have the coaches wear Santa costumes.
Oh, that's actually I can't.
It's a close game, and we're not even – okay. I need to try to dial it back a little bit. Hopefully you all who are listening, all 134 of you are enjoying this. I hope you are, as this 2-point conversion attempt is successful for the Evangel Lightning. A great catch by Will Welch. And that's going to add another 2 points onto the Evangel lead and make it 30-13. 4:09 left to go in the first half. The Lightning are starting to take a stronger lead against the Patriots. .409 left to go in the second quarter. And here's the Lightning about to kick this off. Stannis Cabbage in position to do the kick, but we've seen a little bit of trickery here and there, and he'll decide to boot it to about the 31-yard line is where it's received. This is returned back by Ben Barrett. Gets a return of a couple of yards here, and the Patriots will get back on offense.
Yeah, solid return there by Barrett.
And this is a tough one, too, because when you have the defending national champions, you're going up against them. And
7 times in a row.
Five.
Just 5?
Yeah, it's 5 times. 18, 19, 20, 21, actually 6.
6.
Yeah.
Okay.
8. Let me make sure I got my math right. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, this is their sixth time. Yeah.
Not 7 yet.
Not yet. This is their campaign to try and defend that at least. But anyways, knowing you're going in playing a monolith like Evangel, and at least knowing the season that Arendell, they've had a good season. They had a good season 2 years ago, and last year they had a pretty good challenge last year in how they ended up 5-5. But they came out swinging a little bit against Evangel, and Now only down by 17 at this point. You have to score on this drive, I would think. But this is one of those moments where only down by 17 at this point in the game. Other teams have not been able to last even beyond a quarter.
Spence, did they qualify for the rankings last season for the
Arendell,
NHS?
that's a great question. That is a great question. I don't know if they were on the rankings for last year. They may have been down lower on the list, but I'm not sure. But probably after this one, they'll drop a few rankings if they are covered.
If they are, yeah. Everybody seems to drop after they play Evangel.
Oh, of course. That's actually a good question. I can get you an answer to that in a little bit on the NHSA rankings. Because they just posted recently about which teams they were going to be following this year. Let's see. Arendell is not on the rankings this season in terms of the teams they're following.
So here's my question. Let's say hypothetically, a NHSA team loses to a non-NHSA team. How's that team's ranking get affected? The powers that be are going to have a field day or have a lot of challenges. Deep toss left side, incomplete pass intended for Jalen Solomon, coverage from Kemp Swords, and it brings up it's now fourth and out as the Lightning defense stands strong again. But I'd imagine they might start focusing on the team. If Arendell were to beat the Evangel Lightning today, I'd imagine that the NHSA would start paying attention to them. Oh, yeah.
And almost a blocked punt, and it is ruled a deflection, so it is not a roughing the punter or running into the punter. And that goes out of bounds at about the 39-yard line. I think that's enough of a bang-bang play to make that kind of a good call. I could understand it going either way.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good defensive play. It was close enough. There's some things in football, it's so close, you shouldn't call it,
Still no score in the Stallions and Cavaliers game with about 5 minutes left to go in their first half.
Still no score?
Yeah, nothing yet. Not from on that south field.
Oh, poor James. Poor James. Oh, Lord.
Well, James and Eli are down at the lower field calling that one.
I'm sure it's a great game, but I'm sure James would, like to see some fireworks because he's been watching defense all day. 26-0, 28-0, and now nothing.
First timeout of the half for the Patriots. And that gives 2:25 left to go in this second quarter. The Patriots are going to think it over here in Gatlinburg. Here's a double sweep going to the left side. Cade Joyner is going over at the hash mark, tried to spin out a tackle. There's another flag down, and that's to about the 48-yard line. And there, like we mentioned, there is a flag down.
Yeah, another flag would be an understatement. There's about 3 down on the turf right now.
That's a block in the back ruled on the Lightning, and it'll still be a first down.
So, if I'm right, Evangel gets the ball back. Yeah. So Evangel,
Yep.
they have a chance to put this game away. They got to get the first down first. That's obviously what they should focus on. But if they go down, score, get a stop into half, and then open up and score, ball game, pretty much.
With that penalty, it'll be a first and 20. Toss in the backfield. It's to Welch, and he'll get another loss of yards on the play for bringing up a second and 22.
Yeah, he might have lost half a yard. I don't know. It's so close to tell, but that little bubble screen right there, I like the idea of it. Just the defense was ready for it.
From the 30-yard line, Evangel deep in their own territory. Swords under pressure, trying to find the option. He'll just throw it out of bounds in the area of Ethan Stallings.
Yeah, not much he could really do there. Play was kind of dead. Had the pressure of the defense in his pocket. Just kind of had to throw it away. Third down, big third down coming up for Arendell. And I'm saying that right, am I? Arendell, right?
Yep, Arendell
Okay.
Parrott Academy.
Arendell Parrott.
Yeah, James told us he learned the hard way when he interviewed their head coach, Matt Beeman, on it was Extreme Talk a couple weeks ago. Third down and long. It's a keeper for Swords. Swords all the way up to the 45, just 4 yards shy of the line to gain. And we got a timeout called on the field.
Yeah, an interesting little situation you have here for both teams. So Arendell calls a timeout, and with that timeout, you kind of this play after the last gain of yards, you risk Evangel going for the fourth down, getting it, and scoring. And for Evangel, you risk good field position, for your defense or for the opposing team's offense. Excuse me. So kind of 50-50 flip of the coin play right here.
Fourth and 4 from the 45 with this timeout. The Lightning are ready to go. The Patriots trot back onto the defensive side. Here's the 4th and 4. And they're going to go for it this close to midfield. Swords, quick toss, catch is made. There goes Will Welch. He's got open space, and that's Will Welch once again for a receiving touchdown.
Yeah, great play by Evangel just to take advantage of the busted coverage there by Arendell.
.23 points separate these two teams now, and at one point it was
Arendell up 7.
Yeah, 7-point lead.
Yeah, kind of reminds me. I'm sure the story's been told time and time again. When Tim Smith was laughing in the championship game, he's like, "Y'all had a chance. Y'all had a chance to get up on us," and pointed to his ring.
Well, that was. Yeah, we told that. That was the story that Hunter Wilson told. They were up by 3 scores. They were up 21-0, and then he looks over, and Tim and Agin are laughing, and he looks over. He points to the natty rings he's got on his fingers as a sweep by Cade Joyner to the left side. 2-point conversion is good to make it 38-13. But it's and obviously Coach Wilson and Coach Smith, a lot of respect for each other, always good mentorship. Of course, Hunter Wilson now has taken a step back. He's no longer coaching with the Ezekiel Academy Knights, but had a great run with their football and baseball side for Ezekiel Academy, and just had to, take care of. He's got a family now, his wife and newborn daughter in the last couple of years. So, if you're watching, Coach, we miss you. Would love to have you in the booth sometime.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to have you up here. But certainly, he told that story because that's one of the things you notice, especially about the 8-man teams we covered. There's a lot of respect for each other, a lot of camaraderie. We saw that as well last week with Media Day for the Southeastern Extreme Conference, and how just all the coaches were continually praising each other and thankful for the mentorship and the constant conversations they're able to have.
Right, yeah, football isn't just a game, it's a family. I mean, it's definitely brought all of us together. I mean, Theo, he drove from Tuscaloosa, but he had some special arrangements had to get here. I drove all the way from Jackson. It brings several different people from several different backgrounds together, and it's a great environment.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, shout out to Mike St. Dennis last night. Theodore was coming in on a Greyhound, and his bus got delayed from Birmingham, and he missed his connecting bus by 2 minutes to get up to Knoxville. And Mike St. Dennis, who lives just north of Atlanta, fortunately picked him up and drove him about 2 hours so James could meet him halfway and bring him to Gatlinburg. So shout out to Mike St. Dennis on that. Shout out to Greyhound as well. I mean, you get kind of what you pay for on that stuff. And, there's bus delays, and it happens at times.
Yeah.
But, shout out to Greyhound for giving a good story for Theo to tell for years to come in his broadcasting days. They talk all the time about flight delays that you have as broadcasters, but I'm sure he's going to be one of the few to say he had a Greyhound delay.
Yeah, that sounds like a story straight out of the 40s. That's a Elvis
bus
Presley
or
kind
I
of.
missed my train. There's another onside kick attempt. Will Welch. It does go the 10 yards, and trying to fall, and it almost recovered by the Lightning. That was Ben Barrett, who, as he got it down, the ball was a little bit out of his reach, but he managed to scoop it in.
Trying to pull up Arendel's schedule. Going to look ahead on who they play for the year.
While you're looking at that, an update for you. The Cavaliers have scored a touchdown. They are up 6-0 with 2:45 left to go in the second quarter. So at least have a score down there.
Yeah,
at
they
least
do.
have something going on.
So here in about 6 days, next Friday, they play Faith Christian. They open up at home. I believe that's after this play.
Toss across the middle. And once again, Jalen Solomon weaving through the defense. Jalen Solomon has got a blocker. He's down to the 35-yard line in Evangel territory.
Yeah, it looks like they play. Let me see the conference they play in. The NCISAA is what I believe it's called. It's the freelance division. There's about, I can't count that quick. I'd say about 12 teams in it, just from glancing at it. Faith Christian at home. I think that's team is that. It just says Halifax Academy, St. David's in Raleigh, Rocky Mountain Academy, John Paul, BBA in Fayetteville, Lawrence Academy, Jones in Trenton, Liberty Christian, and Wayne Christian in Goldsboro. So
that was a carry up the middle by Mason Mooring again, as we got the final timeout of the first half called by the Patriots, and the Lightning still have two. Not much they would probably use it for at this point. 25.9 left to go in this first half. Reminder for you, we're on the 4 p.m. games right now. The Anderson Cavaliers and Cabarrus Stallions, they're on a commercial break right now, but you can do that split screen here on YouTube for those two games. And then the nightcap game, the Virginia Spartans and the Georgia Force, collide at 7 p.m. Eastern, so about 2 hours' time from now. The final game, as well as this game and another one we were mentioning, all here on 8-Man Extreme's YouTube channel. And schedule right now is we should be broadcasting the CFA Championship from Tuscaloosa Christian this November. as well as the Southeastern Extreme Conference Championship the next day. Following that, should be heading to Florida for the 2024 NHSA 8-Man Football Championships and get to have another good experience in Panama City or Vernon. I believe the Lightning just burned another one of their timeouts, so they're down to one. As I guess Coach Smith didn't like what he saw on the field.
Yeah, so just pulled up Evangel schedule. So it looks like they have a few 11-man games. Abbeville Christian, Banks Academy, FCA, both of those road games. Chambers is the fourth. That's on the road in Lafayette. And that's all for the 11-man. Looks like they play Freedom, they play Ezekiel, Lighthouse, Southern Christian, and East Central. So nothing too out of the ordinary on their schedule. Few 11-man games sprinkled there, but this is probably the most, geographically the most reaching they will go in terms of opponents and, who they play. Every now and then they'll play, a team like Tennessee Heat or somebody from Georgia. But, North Carolina, I think that's a first for them.
Yeah, it's a lot of different teams from different states represented here. You got teams from Tennessee and Alabama, and you have the North and South Carolina represented here, Georgia as well, Virginia, and it's one of those things where it is a national event. Where same with the All-American game, as this is a fake handoff, toss right side that is completed on the ground for a gain of 9 yards, maybe about 8 or 7, but
Clock's still rolling.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where they invite as many people around, and it's spiked with 9.4 seconds to go, and they invite as many people as they can from across the nation to do these All-American games or to do the Black Bear Brawls for the kickoff games. They try to have as good a representation, and that's a credit to Andrew Capps and the rest of the staff at Rocky Top Sports World, because they and on the All-American games they have the committee of coaches who do the voting and everything for the players and nominations. But they actually do a lot to get this done, and they're just glad the second year there's no chance of any thunderstorms.
Right. Yeah.
With 9 seconds left, a scramble as Arendell tossed to the corner in the end zone, overthrew his man as incomplete. The pass intended for Ben Barrett as time expired, and it looks like Ben Barrett is hurt. He kind of shoved down at the end of the play. He got into that little divot or that hill raise.
Gutter, yeah.
That almost gutter. So he is being looked at as I believe is clenching either his arm or his knee, which is not good. Not the way you want to see a first half end. 38-13 is the score. The Lightning leading over the Patriots. We will be back in about 12 minutes for coverage of the second half here from Gatlinburg for the 2024 Black Bear Brawls. We welcome you back to Gatlinburg as this kickoff is recovered by Eli Black going down to the 41-yard line. Still at Hammond Stadium and Legion Field for the 2024 Black Bear Brawls. Game 5 or Game 6, however you look at it, between the Evangel Christian School Lightning, who lead 38-13 over the Patriots of Arendell Parrott Academy. Spencer Thompson, we got good old Blake Biggs up here in the booth with me. Brendan Daniels now running camera down below us. And Brendan and Eli will be on call for that 7 p.m. game between the Spartans and the Georgia Force. Should be a fun one. Still at the halftime break for the Stallions and the Cavaliers. As this rush up the middle, it's a gain of maybe a yard or two for Evangel. Your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, great plan by Evangel. They're coming out, they're hidden, they're throwing it real great. They're reading the defense perfectly. They're toying with Arendell's defense right now, and offensively, Arendell's kind of slowed down a little bit. So we'll see if they can, catch back up to speed.
Right, a 2nd down and 7. A sweep to the right. Cade Joyner again is going to go down to about the 40, make that actually the 46-yard line, and across midfield. We got the Evangel Lightning marching again, which no surprise to anybody who really watches the Evangel Lightning. First and 10 across midfield. Still at halftime for the other game on the lower field. Forty-seven-yard line, a handoff up the middle. Here goes Nick Cloud again. Stretches out to get to the 40-yard line. 3 yards short of the first down. Now, Cade Joyner last year, one of those players that, at lack of a better term, he sort of got lost or was learned more in the shadow of the many seniors that graduated, as well as guys like Kemp Swords and Eli Black. But he didn't have a quiet season last year. 24 catches for 451 yards and 6 touchdowns, and had a couple of carries on the rushes, maybe he had 3 tackles that were assists and 1 interception for 47 yards. So this carry going up by Nick Cloud, he'll get the first down. But a guy like Cade Joyner, he's now a senior and he's making contributions. We started calling his name a little bit more this game, and it'll be interesting to see how he does the rest of the season.
Well, yeah, that's just the Evangel. That's just their program, so to say, and that's just the difference between 8-man programs. You'll get guys who they'll start in 8th grade and they'll play all the way through, and you'll know them. And then you get a team like Evangel. They have you'll be sitting all 3 years of high school, and then you finally get to play your senior year, ball out, and, it's just the system they have, and it's just how, different teams are, and it's the program.
Great anticipation on the defensive end. Eli Black was going for the rush, and that was Cade Mixon, the sophomore, knowing when the rush was going to happen, found that gap in the offensive line, made the tackle for loss.
Yeah, good rush right there by Cade Nixon. Good physical, hard-hitting tackle right there. Got him right in his tracks in the backfield.
A 25-point lead for the Lightning over the Patriots at this phase of the game. 8 minutes left to go in the third. Got about a 2nd and 16 for the Lightning to deal with here on the 38-yard line in Patriots territory. Swords picks up the low snap, finally gets back on it and just falls down. Just the pressure there, technically the credited, they say a tackle for loss, maybe not a sack, but Jalen Solomon anticipating it. Leads up a 3rd and 20.
Now, kind of the same situation with last drive Evangel had. You know, they had a big run up the gut in opposing territory, get it down to a 4th and short, and score. So, hey, all 4 downs. Got to play them all 4 downs.
Especially when you don't have anyone to depend on for field goals.
No.
We'll see what the Patriot defense can do on this play. There's a rush at the middle. Kemp Swords immediately anticipated it. There's the catch by Stallings.
Fumble.
Lost the football, and it's fallen on the Patriots. Had the recovery. A good defensive stand, and that was recovered by, looked like 22, Kendi Ta, the senior.
Spence, I swear to God, I did not mean to jinx them right there. I really didn't mean to, but hey, great defensive adjustment right there, and we see a cramp right there. He probably, dehydration and altitude probably got to him.
Now, that may have been Kendi Ta who got the recovery. He was trying to see the number from the distance. It may have also been Brooks Grady, the sophomore, but if it was Kendi Ta, he did not have a fumble recovery last year. He did have an interception for 24 yards, and this is actually, I think, only the first or second cramp we've seen in this game. There's a lot of them in that earlier matchup between Freedom and Pack.
Well, the temperature is going to start dropping. It's started dropping now, but earlier, I mean, it was hot. It was hot. So, and obviously that turf will definitely heat you up a little bit.
While they're looking at this player here, want to give a congratulations to the men's national basketball team for the United States. The win in the gold medal match for Team USA. Steph Curry apparently had himself a field day on shooting threes, and the United States has just achieved gold on both the men's and women's basketball matches. So congratulations to women's soccer winning gold today, and men's basketball winning gold. I believe the women's basketball team. Now I'm curious. I think they won gold.
Call Steph Curry the GOAT. I bet you won't.
Steph Curry in 3-point shooting, certainly the GOAT.
Yep. Yeah, best 3-point shooter of all time.
And here's a rush to the right side, trying to go to the 45-yard line and a little bit more. Has a good carry by Arendell, offensive running back. Looks like that was Jalen Solomon who got the gain a couple of yards short of the first down.
Yeah, great run to the outside by Arendell, but we got to see, they've had great success from the outside. We've yet to see that passing game really, come into fruition here. So let's see what they can do through the air.
The gold medal match is tomorrow for women's basketball. Very unrelated to this play that just happened here. I was trying to make sure I got myself right, but now a third down.
USA has the most golds this Olympics.
Yeah, they just
right?
achieved it. They just achieved it, or if they haven't, they're close to it. It's
Yeah.
between them and China. They have the most in silver and bronze. I know gold. They were tied for China for a minute there. And here's another rush attempt. The Evangel defense not allowing any sort of rush up the middle to happen. That was Jalen Solomon trying to rush again. And it's just been one of those rough days for for anyone facing the Lightning.
Yeah, and this one happens when you don't have a balanced play call sheet. I mean, run, and you would think, okay, you'd get positive yards, if you're running up straight the gut all the time. But, it's almost 4th and 10. Now, you started at, it was like 6 and 8, or not 6 and 8, excuse me, 2nd and 8. And, now you're back at 4 and 10. So, got to mix in a couple different play calls from now on.
High snap. This is almost another block punt. That Evangel special teams has been wanting to have that all day. Will Welch is taking the return. He's got about 20 yards thus far. He'll be brought down at the 36-yard line. Will Welch a little slow to get up. And looks like we got a cramp. Talk about the sportsmanship. Cade Joyner already stretching out. The special teams player is down there for the Patriots. And now you got the official who's helping him with stretching it out there. But that's part of the situation where even when a team is up in a huge dominant fashion, and certainly this has happened with the Lightning over the years, you still see sportsmanship. You see sometimes there may be some – you may see like some split plays where it's maybe they didn't need to go as hard on this tackle, or maybe they could have held back and such. But you see moments like that, and it shows you about the culture that is being taught within the Evangel program.
Well, yeah, and it's just also just in general, it's just kind of like a shared how do I say? I wouldn't say it's a shared experience is what I'm saying. I mean, you're both playing down there. It's hot on that hot turf, You see your teammates and yourself cramping up. You're dehydrated. So you you emphasize with the person you're lining up across.
Trying to rush up the middle is Swords. Tried to spin out multiple tackles, and defensive line surrounded Swords there.
Yeah, great way to contain the quarterback right there. They had 4 blue hats surrounding Swords. Swords couldn't cut away on that one. I'm sorry, Spence. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, you gotta find your ways to keep it entertaining somehow. Winding down to about 4 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Tried to catch it across. Cade Joyner. It's good defensive coverage. And that's one of the examples of a clean defensive stand. Cole Watson, the sophomore, getting a shove there on the receiver, but not going excessive, which would have been pass interference.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think Arendel's done a great job of adjusting defensively. It's just offense. They need to find their stride, and they need to find it quick.
See the ambulance coming.
And we see in the background, I know it's not in the camera shot, we've got an ambulance coming down on the right side. It's got its lights on, so we're certainly open. If there's something going on, there is a Be Right Back on the other game. I'm hoping it's nobody that collapsed or any issues at the other field, because it's been on the Be Right Back for a while, so we certainly hope that everything's okay down at the other field here. Deep toss right side. Cade Joyner slipped through his hands and got the better of the cornerback at Jack Sutton and just could not make the catch.
Yeah, you remember those big shots I told you Evangel was going to take? Yep, that's one of them right there.
.348 left to go in this third quarter. A 38-13 lead for the Lightning over the Patriots. And a little bit of an elongated punt by Welch to stretch out some more time, as this will bounce all the way down to about the 20, make that the 18-yard line. A great punt by Will Welch. And you can hear James in the background screaming, "Do it for the brand" for that one.
Do it for the brand.
Exactly.
Yeah, is that good?
Something
is that
like
anywhere
that,
close?
Yeah. Well, his was.
He threw his voice out doing it.
Yeah. That was a fun. That was an experience at that game. I mean,
I don't know if I like punters that much.
especially in the first quarter of a consolation game for Division II. That's what
Consolation Division 2.
Yeah.
Golly. Yeah, that was definitely an era. That is one I'd like to forget.
That was the
Holy.
1 year that I've covered the NHSA tournament where they had a Division I and Division II bracket, 4 games in one day, which is what we're doing right now. So we prepared for it. Catch is made at about the 23-yard line, and you've already got, I think that's Evan Sugg, who's hobbling. Yep, that is. Actually, that's Tanner Outlaw. It's 42. It looks like on his jersey. The junior who had 5 assisted tackles last year. He is hobbling and he is definitely in pain and will be looked at by the medical staff here again, hoping it's just a cramp.
Yeah.
He is hollering.
Oh, and you.
I
Yeah,
think
you
it's a
can hear.
Oh, yeah.
You can also hear him screaming from up here in the press box, which is not good.
That's a Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie horse. Those aren't fun.
Oh, no. And muff snap in the backfield. Tackle credited Simon Stafford, the senior. And that'll be a loss for a 3rd and 9.
Still trying to see if he's okay. He seems to be in a lot of pain. Hoping for the best.
He's okay. He's getting stretched out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's probably just handling stretch muscle that's really in pain, which is not good.
I feel the kid.
I mean, as like Brendan said, we need a big jar for the pickle juice.
Oh, yeah. Good
Left
run
side
outside.
rush by Jalen Solomon.
Be close to a first down, wouldn't it? Yep,
It's a
first down.
So Eli Cornett did just give us an update. The game at the lower field, they do have an ambulance. It is a neck-related injury. The player is not moving, and they have no clue if he's unconscious, if he's conscious or not. And they just took him out on the stretcher. So again, hoping everything is okay with the player down there for either Cabarrus or Anderson, because it's again. One of those things you never want to see, especially. I've had a couple of times where I've seen an ambulance come over to take a kid out on a stretcher through these football games. It's one of the unfortunate. It's one of the worst things and unfortunate realities of the sport is that it reminds you of how violent it is and why you have so many safety protocols and helmets and pads in that regard. It was why earlier when we had our opening game with. We had our game with Freedom and Pack. Jalen Venter was he had a big collision and did not move for a solid 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And then when he got up, he just skipped
kinda hobbled,
over.
yeah.
Well, he skipped over to the sideline. Looked like he was fine, but then medical staff put him through the concussion protocol. Again, abundance of caution because of moments like we just described in the Cavaliers and Stallions game.
Yeah, and, you never want to see a kid hurt in this game.
No.
And, especially in this league, there are some great players. There are some great kids, who, don't deserve that.
.144 remaining in this third quarter on the 30-yard line. The Patriots trying to at least mount some sort of comeback against the Lightning, and a big stop made. You could see teammates hyping up Kendi Ta. Actually, I beg your pardon, that's for Evangel. It got 22, which I don't have 22 on my roster. I don't know if it's listed over there.
Yeah, no, it's not listed here either.
Might be somebody who changed the jersey because that does happen sometimes.
Could be. Or somebody who, left a jersey behind in Alabaster or back home. It happens.
That's 60 seconds left in this third quarter. Lob in the backfield to Solomon. Solomon trying to spin through. He'll get down to about the 35-yard line. Have one more snap in the third. About a 3rd down and 5. Deep toss left side. The catch is made. Immediate tackle. They'll maybe call Ben Barrett for forward progress. He does move the chains for a 1st down. And that will likely be the final play of the 3rd quarter. No score change since halftime. The defenses have stood strong on both ends. The Lightning still lead the Patriots 38-13 in this 2024 Gatlinburg Black Bear Brawl. Start of the 4th quarter here in Gatlinburg. Sides of the field swapped as the Patriots are still trying to march down the field and make something out of nothing. Here's incomplete. It's an interception. Wait a minute. Did that go between an interception and a catch? How is that possible?
You know what that is? That's called finishing the play, Spence. That's how it's possible.
Ben Davis almost had an interception, had the ball in his hands, and that was Jalen Solomon who essentially stripped it from him. They'll record that as a catch, but that was almost an interception and then a strip. Wow.
Well, it looked like a catch, then an interception, and then a catch.
And the drive stays alive for the Patriots as this catch is made by Luke Stocks. Get a gain of a couple of yards.
You know what they call that? An interception. Sorry, my bad. I had to let that one out.
That actually is pretty clever. Interception.
Yeah.
Or catching.
Yeah, interception.
And that is not good. We have a Lightning player down on the other side of the field.
Oh, he might actually be hurt.
And that does not look like it's a sort of cramp there. You got both coaches coming over to look at him.
It's definitely his knee. Yep, it's his knee.
Yeah, we were talking about this during the break. We've still got 2 players for the Patriots that are down, and they've got trainers working on them trying to stretch out their legs, but they may be more hurt than normal because they've been working on them for a long time. We're hoping all the best for them. And got a scoring update for you on the game down at the other field. It's 3rd quarter, 8-16, still 7-0 for the Cavaliers over the Stallions. Not much of an update from there. Obviously, they had the major delay with the whichever player it was with a neck injury, and hoping all the best for him as we saw the ambulance in the background head up and out to the local regional hospital. And good sign to see 22 is up for the Lightning, which we don't have his number on Max Preps or on our rosters, but hope everything is okay with him as the medical staff will look at him.
Evangel guy's up there. Ask him who that is. You have Evangel guys up there. Ask him who that is. That's true.
We got a 2nd and 8. Toss left side, catch is made. Ben Barrett, again, the junior, had 22 catches last season, 315 yards, 4 receiving touchdowns, gets another reception there, as that'll bring up, waiting for the spot, I believe. Got it as a third down.
Yeah, Spence, besides that interception, passing for Arendell has been pretty good recently. So maybe they should, keep going to that.
Why'd you have to pause after saying it like that, man? You made our cameraman laugh down there.
My bad.
He's already sweating and miserable down there. You're going to make him laugh and lose energy? Come on, man. Deep toss right side. Another incompletion. Jalen Solomon had it in his arms and couldn't get the catch in. We were also talking about this, how the heat has a factor in that. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you probably in 70-degree weather, most of the times you catch that.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. It's just, again, this heat, it's a different kind of heat. It's not humidity where it bogs down on you. It's just a dry heat where you're kind of like in an oven, and especially on that turf field, ooh, it's a little hot down there, let me tell you that.
And it looks like they're having the clock run, even though we're not at the mercy rule phase. As they just forgot to stop the clock there in the incompletion and run up the middle. 4th down, it is a turnover on downs, can't get anything going, and the Evangel Lightning will take over.
Yeah, they might be running the clock down because, players are starting to drop like flies because,
right.
The injuries and, I guess they don't want to see anyone hurt. It's an opening game. You have the rest of the season ahead of you. Let's be honest here, Spence, game's already over. Some things are, some battles aren't worth fighting.
Well, we thank all of you for fighting the battle of whether or not you should stay tuned in or not to this, all 131 of you. Even with the interception, as Blake calls it, and he's saying it twice. I'm glad you're still joining us here on 8-Man Extreme. And looks like we've got a timeout called by the Patriots. I believe that's their first of the half, and brings us at 9:29 left to go, or make that 9:31 left to go in the rest of the game. Evangel leading 38-13.
We're back.
Well, apologies, we have a flag down in the field. I thought we were cool, but usually the music stops like right when the play is going. So we had a motion rush on the left side, but there's a flag. So that's as if the play never happened, anyways. Only shaved off about 6-7 seconds.
So can we play the rest of Sweet Caroline, please? Like, if we're going to play the music during the play, like, let's go ahead and get it out there. The ba ba ba, just get it out the way.
Just get all the players on the field.
Come on, man, you got me riled up, man. What's up with the PA, man?
Just imagine all the players when it comes on, they go, so good, so good, so good. All right, yeah, you're right, I think, about the clock running down. Catch is made right side. Cade Joyner, a nice stutter step to get just short of the line to gain, and it'll get us about at a 2nd and 2.
So this next game, it's Virginia Christian and Georgia Force, right?
That's what we got, yep. Yeah, that's the marquee game. Eli Cornett and Brendan Daniel will be on the call for that one. Rest of us will be helping them as much as we can behind the scenes, even though we won't have that much to really worry about with us, or with them, I should say. And, we're actually going to have about an hour until kickoff for that one with the way this game pace is going. And got about a 2nd and 11. Quarterback keeper up the middle. Keeper for Davis.
Yeah, it looks like Evangel's starting to put some subs in now, get some youth, some experience, some of these younger guys.
And that's their that's their usual formula is they use their starters, they score a ton in the beginning or try to run down that defense early on so that by the time they get to the second half or even third and late in the fourth quarter,
they can rest them.
Yep, that's their next step is to rotate their other guys in so they're getting valuable game experience.
No more cramps.
3rd and 6. Brendan also said no more cramps on that too, so that way they're not having their experienced guys getting too many reps. But here's Ben Davis. It doesn't seem to matter how many reps he gets. He goes up to the 46-yard line for another first down.
Yeah, Ben Davis, a sophomore. That's a good catch and run right there. A little pitch and catch and go. And it looks like the clock is stopped.
Cramp.
Oh. It looks like we got
Number
another
1.
cramp. That'd be Cooper Coleman. And your Patriot.
Evangel was ready to go.
Yeah, Evangel was ready to go. They were ready to.
They were ready at the line already. They even stopped the clock this time. There's a handoff up the middle. Brought down by the backside of the jersey is Michael Goebel, the junior who had no stats from last year, starting to get some playing time.
Flag on the play, late hit.
Yeah, it looks like a late hit is going to be the call on this flag.
It's going to be on offense.
I'll call that on the Lightning, so they'll bring it back.
And it looks like clock is starting to roll.
2nd and long, a carry on the left side by Ari Harris, the senior. Only had 7 tackles last year, no rushing or receiving stats. Gets a carry there for a loss of 1, and brings up a 3rd down on the 45.
Now, question is, Spence, Evangel really hadn't been in many, 4th and long situations here today. But the score as it is, do they punt? Or do they attempt to? Because I don't know if they have a punter on their roster.
They do.
They
I
do?
think they punted. Will Welch punted a couple times
Will Welch,
earlier.
okay,
so so they do have Will Welch to utilize for that if they wanted to. But this could also, because of how the score is, this could be the time for them to try some of those trick plays. Depends on what Hagen Joyner wants to do. And it looks like they're going to try one of those. On the 45, they're also so close to midfield. And high up, incomplete pass intended for Staniscavage. And that will result in a turnover on downs, but it looks like they are still going to run the clock because I think, again, it's probably an injury standpoint with the game being over.
Spence, we've talked a lot about the Heat this game. They're not even playing.
I was waiting for someone to make that joke. Like you were saying, it's like a dry heat here. I was going to say it's no Tennessee heat, but that wouldn't make any – I mean, it would have been a pun, but we're also in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So it looks like it was a 3rd down on that last play. So Will Welch punts it away, and this is an attempted return. I'm not sure why he just didn't let it bounce there to the ground.
What number is he? Brendan Shea? Oh. Well, he's the kicker. He's probably put back there to
13.
just because for some reps.
Yeah, there's William Stimson for the Patriots.
Oh, William Stinson. Okay, never mind. I looked at 7.
Yeah, it was Braden Shaver.
Yeah.
So now in 1st and 10. Okay, so that's what we were thinking about. The clock was running because it was a 3rd down on that play, not a 4th.
Ah. Now, good news, kid who was hurt earlier, he looks like he's up and walking. He's limping a little bit, but he's up and walking.
Probably
Like
still be looked at this
Yeah.
weekend. Either that or on Monday whenever we're going into the doctor's office back in town. That's for Kinston, North Carolina. They'll make that what do you say, 6-hour trip back?
6.5,
Yep.
I believe.
Yeah, 6.5 hours they'll let back and reevaluate from there.
God, that is a drive. Yeah, 6 hours and 15 minutes.
I was going to say, you think that's bad. I just did a trip to D.C. this past weekend, 10 hours of driving.
Oh, bless your heart.
Yeah, did that both ways in the span of 4 days.
You Uber okay.
Brendan, just because I freelance with Uber and Lyft does not mean that it makes it okay.
Tomato.
Here's right side. Shaver has got an opening, brought down after gaining a 1st down to the 49-yard line. And the Patriots still trying to get some good momentum heading into the rest of their season. One of the things you also love about high school sports, the fans are still cheering for you, and they're excited. They don't leave when the game's over in the 3rd quarter.
No, yeah. I mean, those are some of your best friends in the stands right there.
Oh, yeah. Pitch in the backfield to Silas Rouse. Went for a carry there. You can tell the amount of people who are excited for him to have that carry of about 6 yards. The Silas, the freshman, getting some action here late in the game. Brings up a 2nd down and 5.
And it looks like for the players who have cramped up, it looks like they're rubbing some sort of biofreeze or some sort of cream onto their calves to prevent cramping.
Yeah, they got the medical training staff trying everything they can down there as a carry up the middle does not go anywhere with the tackle by Wesley Holmes. Well, I know for the most part in high school football, seasons can change, ebb and flows can happen with injuries, but doesn't seem out of the ordinary for the way this game is going.
Oh, no, not at all. Listen, Evangel is, they are the standard for 8-man football. And Arendell, I'm assuming they only play, teams from North Carolina.
Scramble, deep toss, an opportunity. There's a catch across the middle. A reception by Ben Barrett, trying to push to the goal line down to about the 1.
Yeah, that's a great play right there. Back to what I was saying, I'm pretty sure Arendell, this is kind of a new style of teams they would face compared to back home for them.
Boy, these fans are like Tennessee Volunteer fans.
1:58 remaining in this contest, down at about the 1-yard line. The Patriots trying to pop in a score, help a little bit on the stat lines. Pitch in the backfield, going towards the goal line, touchdown. And the freshman, Silas Rouse, gets a score late in the game.
Yeah, and that's always good to see, get the younger guys in. Let the younger guys score. That's one he'll remember for a while.
This guy's encouraging the cheerleaders. No, you guys are fine.
We got some great fans that we can hear in our headsets. We're now projecting it out to headset, and we just had someone ask our guy Brendan with the headset, "You guys aren't recording this, are you?" There's not audio on there, so that's pretty fun. And incomplete pass on the 2-point conversion attempt. That is 38-19.
And keep in mind, Arendell, you know, for those who don't know, they're on the eastern side
Yep.
of North Carolina. So that's a little bit of a drive. They're close to the ocean.
Yeah, I was going to say probably like 30, 45 minutes to the coast, huh?
Yeah. Maybe like an hour. Yeah, just by looking at the map. They're close to Wilmington. Looks like a little drive from there.
Well, I know where I'm going for a coaching job. To the beach I go.
We got a minute 36 left to go. Make that a minute 33 in the rest of this ball game. Again, 7 p.m. is when the Virginia Spartans and Georgia Force are set to kick off. The game between the Anderson Cavaliers and Cabarrus Stallions has 40 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Maybe a little bit over that, as it looks like a touchdown just happened in that game from the Stallions. So maybe an extra point away from tying it up.
Close game over there.
Yeah, a lot closer. Ours was the one that was interesting because the rest of them, through the first half, they had not. I think it was Eli Cornett came up here and told us they did not complete a single pass, either team. So that was a tough one.
Yeah, they probably opened it up a little bit.
4 interceptions and like two or three fumbles.
4 interceptions, like 2 to 3 fumbles, something along those lines. As that ball is picked up by Will Welch and walks it out of bounds, and got probably the final knee downs for Evangel with 1:26 left to go in the game. Shout out to Audrey Green, who gave a comment watching us. We miss you as well, Audrey. Hope you could join us in Florida on the production side, or maybe in one of the state championships in that regard. So we just saw the trophies for the Black Bear Brawls going down to the MVP chain. You know, we talked about this in the other games. I think we know who the MVP is for this game, right?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's more likely Kemp Swords. He's been a star for the Evangel Lightning on both sides of the ball, on the cornerback side and coverage. And
they've been cutting up the defense.
Well deserved on his part. As the Evangel Lightning will just run it out here. Or at least hopefully they will. And there's a run up the middle. That was Michael Goebel again.
Spence, I know this sounds like a stretch, but I know a lot of teams out there that would take losing to Evangel by 19 any day of the week. Any day of the week.
Yeah, especially just 19.
Just
Because
19.
you think about, again, we were talking about this of how in the first half when it was just down by 16, at that status point, it was not too bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And Audrey Green, she just started her master's program at Clemson. Originally, I thought it was all online. I guess she's on site over there in South Carolina. Maybe she could find her way down at some point. A lot of these teams found their way out to Gatlinburg, too, this year.
Spencer, I just talked to a few Pac players. They're saying Pac will beat them in Florida.
Pac saying that they want to beat the Evangel Lightning in Florida. It's a long season, and Pac would very well be able to get on the path back to Florida. But for now, the Evangel Lightning starting the campaign to a 7th national title. They have defeated the Arendell Parrott Patriots by a final score of 38-19. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us here on the main field. The secondary field game is going on between the Anderson Cavaliers and Cabarrus Stallions. James Shannon and Eli Cornett have the call on that right now at the lower field here on 8-Man Extreme. They've got about 43 seconds left to go in the third quarter and winding. So certainly tune in for that until the final game tonight at 7 p.m. between the Virginia Spartans and the Georgia Force. For Blake Biggs, Brendan Daniel, all the hardworking men and women that make this run so smoothly, I'm Spencer Thompson saying so long from Gatlinburg. Stick around for the final 2 games of the day.